a mask because I have allergic rhinitis. So I am quite sensitive to dust or like my allergens. And a while back, someone was sweeping the floor. That's why I really have to cover my nostrils, not particularly. But can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before anything else, I am really, uh, reviewing all the articles that I really have to include in our syllabus. So I am still on the process of finalizing everything. There are a lot of articles that I have located, I have found, but I really have to, group them and really read everything before I can include them in the syllabus. Okay, though as I showed you last time, um, I already had you know a list of articles that could be included, but I think I really have to enhance the content of this particular subject every now and then, for us to be more updated about what's going on regarding eco literacy. Okay, there you go. So, um, have you tried browsing the the article that I sent to you yesterday or the other day? I think. Have you? Mhm. Just type yes or no in the chat box. Okay. So I just keep on typing there. Okay, and our there are only two ways of our communication through online class. One is through the chat box, and then the other one, if I ask you to turn on your microphone and speak, like so we're going to do in the next few minutes. Okay? Again, so you practice reading fast. Okay, so that's just the first article that I will send you. That's the only article. That's the first article that you have to read as a foundation on this subject. Okay. Okay. Now, before I start with our discussion, um, I would like you uh, to speak individually. Okay. And very quick on probably the things that you would like to learn or you expect to learn from this particular subject and the thing that probably you can contribute to our uh, educational to this educational experience. Okay. Um, Let me hear it from Aldrin. Yes, Aldrin, you may speak now.
Sir, siguro po, um, in-expect ko po sa course na to is magiging tayo natin environment natin.
Hmm. Naghang na. Okay. So maybe you may turn off your video cam now and let Aldrin speak. Turn on his own microphone and video cam. Are you still there, Aldrin? Okay, we'll go back to Aldrin. Next is April May. Where's April May?
Morning, sir. Um,
Kindly show yourself. Turn on your camera. Yes, you speak. Okay.
para po sa akin, sir, is yung ini-expect ko po dito yung ano yung mga laws na dapat ay yung kailangan po nating pag-aralan para po mas ma-preserve pa po yung environment. And um, sa contribute naman po, sir, syempre as a future educator po is um, we have the responsibility po na habang bata pa yung mga estudyante natin, turuan po natin sila ng mga bagay na makakatulong para mas mapangalagaan yung environment, sir. Yun lang po.
Okay. That's nice. Okay, what about RJ?
Good morning po, sir.
You may turn on your video cam. Here's the rule now. Whenever you want to speak, okay, you have to turn on your video cam. Yes, RJ. What a fresh
Um,
environment you are in.
para sa akin po, sir, yung may contribute ko po as a student, unahin ko po yung pangalawang tanong. Um, Siguro po ako po yung magsisilbing light or magiging magbibigay ng help sa mga student to build the relationship with the environment, love, care sa ating nature. Nang sa ganun po is ma-develop po nila yung pagiging resourcefulness and naturalistic sa environment po. Then yung isa naman pong tanong, ano na kasing isang Sir, ano na po kasing isang tanong? Hello po, sir.
I think your expectation about the class, about the subject.
Ayun po. Yung expectation ko po, sir, magiging ano po ako, eco-literate po. Nang sa ganun po malaman ko po kung paano po ma-save yung environment, paano po bigyan ito ng importansya, and paano po ito mas bigyan pa ng love, ganun po, para ma-preserve po from generation to the next generation po. So yun po.
Okay, thank you. Bless you, Marie.
Good morning po, sir.
Okay.
Yung ina-expect ko pong matutunan dito sa subject na to is para maging aware po sa eco-literacy, sa ecological literacy, and para ma-share ko naman po yung aking natutunan sa mga taga dito sa barangay namin, sa mga kaibigan at sa mga taga-ibang lugar po. Para mal para mabawasan po yung mga nagko-cause sa environment, sir.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah.
Thank you po,
So,
sir.
what particular problem ba does your environment or does your community experience in terms of environment?
Sir, yung kung may mga nagsusunog po ng mga plastic, ganun po, sir.
Okay. Sige.
Thank you po.
Okay, what about Crystal Joy? Crystal Joy? Okay, nawala. Denver.
Yes po, sir. Good morning po.
Hmm.
So yung first question po is, expectation po is to expand our knowledge po in terms of environmental issue like laws and acts, how to protect yung environment po. And sa contribution naman po, sir, is yung as a future educator po, we need to be a model sa mga future student natin na how to care environment and how to prevent uh, environmental risk po. Yun lang po, sir.
Okay. Elijah.
Morning, sir. So, bali po, para po sa akin is, ang expectation ko po dito sa subject na ito is maging mas aware po kami na bilang magiging future teacher kung paano po namin aalagaan or maging mas literate sa aming kapaligiran. Ganon din po, pag bilang ano po, ang may siguro po ang pangunahing may i-contribute ko po is maging example po sa mga kasama ko po sa aking mga nakapaligid na kapwa. So maging magkaroon ng disiplina kung paano yung tamang pagtatapon, paglilinis at pangangalaga ng kapaligiran po. Yun po, sir.
Okay, that's interesting, Elijah. What about Erelika?
Hello po, good morning po. Para sa akin po is to become aware na din po on how to protect and save our environment at makapagbigay po ng solusyon sa mga environmental issues or problems in the community.
Okay. Magandang ano yan, advocacy. Thank you. What about Gina?
Good morning, sir. Yung akin naman po, yun rin po para maging knowledgeable po about sa environment. Kung ano po yung mga dapat at kailangan gawin pa po. Kasi dito sa amin, may mga nasusunog rin po ng mga plastic. Tapos yung mga basura po is tinatambak po sa amin. Kaya isa rin po yun sa mga nagiging problema po dito. And yung matututunan ko po syempre dito, i-share ko rin po sa kanila. Yun po.
Okay. Sige. Jasmine? Is Jasmine around? Okay, Jovelyn. Is Jovelyn here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's your time to
Um,
speak.
what what I expect in this course is that magiging knowledgeable enough sa mga bagay na dapat gawin at mga dapat hindi gawin sa environment. And yung may kakontribute ko dito is as a future educator, syempre, dapat ipakita ko pa sa mga estudyante yung mga proper, kahit na sa simpleng mga bagay lang, dapat maipakita ko sa kanila na dapat yung mga basura, ganun po, itapon sa tamang basurahan kahit sa mga ganung simpleng bagay lang po.
Okay. What about June Kenneth? Morning. Okay. So we'll go back to the rest. Uh, maybe after a few discussions on some topics. Okay. So just we'll have the rest of the class speak because I really wanna hear them. I wanna see them because it's really hard. No, it's really hard to also hold class online. Sometimes I don't know if you're still listening or you're still watching. No? Kaya as much as possible, I wanna make it more interactive. So in the middle of the discussion, no, you can just type in the chat box if you have questions, or you may just if I don't know if you have another extension for the Google for the Google Classroom. Now you can just raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Okay, so are you all ready? So I gave you this particular article last time, if I'm not mistaken, on Saturday, for you to have an advanced reading. And so you expect that maybe after this class, I'll give you some more to read because I really want to develop in you the reading habit because that's extremely important in teacher education program uh, for you pre-service teachers. Okay, so definition of equiliteracy and how it is different from other terms such as ecological environment or environmental literacy, mga ganon. Ecological literacy. Yan. Okay. But before anything else, let us decipher the term. So, ecoliteracy is composed of two words. Now, I can see eco and literacy, right? And I know you're familiar with, this this I want to say maybe prefix, no, echo, and then this literacy, a word. Okay. Anyone who knows something about what literacy is, you may write your answer in the chat box or raise your hand. Yes, is that Aldrin?
Sir,
Okay. Yes, Aldrin.
sir, sir, literacy is uh, sir.
Mm. Go ahead. Mhm. I cannot hear you, Aldrin. You may just write your answer in the chat box. So anyone else who would like to speak?
Good morning, sir. Nikki po.
Nicker, yes.
Sir, para po sa akin, yung alam ko po is literacy is knowledge in a specific topic, sir.
Knowledge on a specific topic. Okay, that's an interesting idea on what literacy is. Now, Aldrin, would you like to speak now? Aldrin,
Morning. Okay ba ako?
it's quite choppy. Sige lang, continue speaking.
Sir, literacy para sa akin po is the ability to read and write po.
Okay, the ability to read and write. Okay, so yeah, I'll be competence in a specific field. Yes, a lot more. No, you can name uh, a lot more no, about what literacy is, but we really have to qualify this particular concept. No? And probably we can start off with the maybe the old definition of literacy, which is the ability to read and write. Okay, we know that literacy also has evolving concepts. Okay, it used to be referring to the ability to read and write, but now it's not as simple as that. Okay, it's not as simple as that. Say, say for instance, no, uh, in our subject echoliteracy, you'll not just learn here. You will not just learn how to write or how to read about this, ecological environment or whatever. Okay, but that's a good start. Okay, that's a good start. Um, Before anything else, of course, it's just proper for us to know the brief history of ecoliteracy, how it has come to be. Okay, and that's a part of, that's a part of history. There is what we call historical process that is involved in in the evolution of the concepts of ecoliteracy. Okay, so it didn't just exist out of thin air. There's an origin of that particular concept. And it started way, way back before we were born. Okay, that these people already had this concept of how to take care of the environment. Okay, they even organized non-government organizations to really address whatever environmental problems or issues they have. So, uh, according to Venice Key, 1987, it's until the late 1800s that the word literacy existed. And it was predated from the word illiteracy by several hundred years. So it only means that uh, the term illiteracy was used first before the term literacy. Okay? So maybe people before were more concerned about, uh, they were more concerned about how people would be branded as illiterate or something like that. Okay, so it started from there. Then later on, no, there's this term literacy. Okay, now as most of you said, no, It refers to the ability to read and write. Okay, pero that's an old definition of literacy. In fact, uh, yung term na literacy uh, uh, was used extensively since the Industrial Revolution pa. So if you're familiar with Industrial Revolution, uh, you would think of, as you can see, the pictures here would represent, you know, this what we call Industrial Revolution. This was after the Age of Enlightenment, the medieval period, Age of Renaissance, Age of Enlightenment, and people finally, uh, focused on the use of machineries. Now they made use of their knowledge, in creating machineries that would speed up, speed up the economic growth. Okay. So when we speak of industrial revolution, we would want to think of the advancement of machinery, with far-reaching social and economic consequences. Basically, it's not just about the invention of, during when we were in when you were in high school, you would probably think of this spinning jenny and other, simple machineries that were used then. But during those times, uh, the, the existence of this machinery ignited, mass production, affected the social and economic aspects, no, of the country, particularly in the West, because it spread, throughout Western Europe and North America. Ayan. So, since people probably, parang sabi nga kanina, no, the use of knowledge, no, knowledge about a particular topic, um, people were concerned about, how to develop their knowledge, as we speak about literacy, and that was really evident since, or it has been very evident since Industrial Revolution, where we can see this material progress. Okay, material progress as a manifestation of their giving prime to literacy. Okay. Now there is this another term by Payne, but this is more recent, no, than what I'm going to present to you in the next slides. Uh, as he dismissed the notion of environmental or ecological literacy to refer to what he actually called critical ecological ontology. So it's a curriculum theory which focuses on the experiences of learners of being in the world. From the term ontology, that is a branch of metaphysics, no? That refers to being in general. Okay, being in general, ganyan, or yeah, would actually refer to, neutrally anything, oh, anything there is. Yon. So critical in the sense that it could uh, it could be something about, you know uh, promoting certain probably social justice or certain cause, and so it may refer to how a school or an educational institution perhaps addresses this, ecological challenges. Okay, these ecological challenges. That's why it's called a curriculum theory. Now, let's talk about environmental literacy. Ayan. So this particular term was used 45 years ago. So that's really way back, even before we were born, that this environmental literacy was first used. And it was actually used in an issue of the Massachusetts Audubon by Roth. Well, actually, uh, this was a non-profit organization. It was a non government organization that was established to, you know, promote the environment, no, in their community, in their country, and so they made use of the term environmental literacy. Okay, by asking this question, how shall we know the environmentally literate citizen? So that's why a part of this, a part of the uh, subject is to discuss something about literate citizenry, no, or eco-literate citizenry. How do we know environmentally literate citizen? Okay, so since then the term has evolved, uh, and been extensively reviewed. Okay, and so what is this environmental literacy? What's the notion of this environmental literacy? Okay, the most wide accepted definition is that it comprises, this is according to the North American Association for Environmental Education, 2004, awareness of and concern about the environment and its associated problems, as well as the knowledge, skills, and motivations to work towards solutions of current problems and the prevention of new ones. So it's very simple, right? It's clear what they meant, by environmental literacy. So concern for environment and the problems associated with it, and the acquisition of this knowledge skills in order to somehow solve these problems and to prevent the new problems from emerging. So basically, that's what they meant by environmental literacy. What about ecological literacy? Okay. So more recently, kung yung isa 45 years ago, since this article was published, okay, I would suppose it had reference to, the writer had a reference to when this article was published. The term ecological literacy was first publicly used 27 years ago, by Risser in his address of the past president to the Ecological Society of America. So in this address, Risser urged ecologists to ponder, debate, and arrive at a consensus as to what comprises basic ecological literacy. So ano ba talaga, no? What is ecological literacy? So that's a very important question to ask, no? If they're really concerned about defining what ecological literacy is. Okay? And since then, no, this ecological literacy, no, has evolved considerably, no? Kaya parang it's within the field, no, of ecology. It's within the field of ecology. So eventually, no, it would refer to the key ecological knowledge necessary for informed decision making acquired through scientific inquiry and systems thinking. So we have some sort of, like probably jargons here or technical terms for you to understand better. No? Say systems thinking, right? Well, I know you're familiar with scientific inquiry, no? So it's more on the conduct of research, no? In that would that should inform decision making, right? Kasi there is the scientific inquiry and systems thinking. Yung meron kasi tayong tinatawag na systems theory, okay? That which actually theorizes that, for instance, ecologically speaking, no, uh, we live in certain kind of living systems, and that's one of the concepts that you really have to understand as far as eco literacy is concerned. Yun. Particularly knowing that the earth is actually a living system. Okay? It's not just how we, how we intervene, but it's also how the earth itself uh, you know, has this kind of a structure to reproduce its existence. No? Kaya meron tayong mga equilibrium, no? Yung homeostasis, no? To achieve balance, ganyan. So, parang certainly, this, for instance, natural calamities, uh, this phenomena, natural phenomena, really happen. No, these are really essential for the existence of the planet. Okay, and the reason that they be, they become uh, disastrous is because you know they affect humans. Okay, kasi without humans naman, we cannot say that okay, there is a disaster. Okay, right? So, kasi if we cannot get affected by it, then there's no disaster at all. So it's actually from our own point of view to say that, okay, that this typhoon is disastrous or what. Because naturally, for instance, typhoons also have their own role to perform, right? They have their own role to perform. Otherwise, they won't exist. Okay? They won't exist. Kaya minsan, sometimes nature, tries to balance everything, no, by reducing, for instance, by reducing the population, no, the population if it gets to a certain limit already, and sometimes we humans do not think of the repercussion in the event that we go or we exceed the limits or the limits of our nature. Kaya sometimes we can say that we don't deserve this planet. We don't deserve our environment because simply we just what? We just exploit the environment. uh, we allow capitalists to exploit our resources, which used to be free and now have, prices. And somehow we have become victims of all this, no? Especially now kasi 'di ba sabi nga kumbaga if we talk about this, we'll also talk about the social aspect of the society and or the community and the economic aspect of our country kasi they're all connected. No? They're all connected. Bakit may inflation? Bakit nagtataas na ng mga bilihin? No? Bakit yung behavior natin towards all this, our perspectives and reactions to the pandemic, for instance, no, all these things are interconnected to one another. Let's say, for instance, no, the pandemic, no, if it's not uh, genetically engineered or biologically engineered, uh, others would believe that, that virus actually came from animals, no? Which was transmitted to humans. And if that's, if that's what they want to believe, then I think that's also possible. Say we humans and animals, have increasing contacts together, and because of deforestations, the things that we do illegally that compromise the habitat can actually lead to this habitat loss and eventually will make our world smaller. So these animals would invade our space uh, same as with the way we invade theirs. So it's not surprising if at your backyard you might see crocodiles, no, or other wild animals. Kasi simply, you know what we have been doing, no, since the Industrial Revolution. Since the Industrial Revolution, the reason why, alam niyo naman the turning points when people uh, started to have this knowledge. They started to be illiterate first. Okay, they didn't know. Probably the people before, kasi we could not naman judge them about what they were doing before, because probably during those times they think that what they do was just the right thing to do. Okay, and now we're living we're living in the consequences of what they did, several even 100 years ago. And that is why, apart from having this ecological knowledge based on scientific inquiry, or just merely contributing to the solution, to the problems in the environment, nagkaroon nung tinatawag nating eco-literacy, because this has something to do with, someone mentioned about this, no, kanina, yung creation of sustainable human communities and society. Kasi hindi enough that we have this ecological knowledge. No? Hindi enough that uh, we just solve the problems, no, in our community. No? The question is, are our actions leading to the sustainability of the human communities and society? Oh, that's the question, right? Baka naman, it's just a band-aid solution, no? What you're doing is just a band-aid solution. And if you stop doing it, that's it. There's no sustainability. Okay? So, the, the term eco-literacy was first published 16 years ago by Capra. It was him who actually, it was him who made use of the term eco-literacy, no? Um, he He actually was the director of the Center for Eco-Literacy in Berkeley, California. It was a non-profit organization, no? Lahat naman non-profit organization. And probably you'd think, ano ba ang ginagawa ng gobyerno? Bakit most of these organizations are non-government or private? May mga ganoon, no? Uh, Sometimes, of course, the government, no, is the culprit, no, of to all these environmental issues that we have now. Okay, diba? Say for instance, no, sometimes kasi at the expense of the environment, they would think of development. Now, for instance, who can give an example? What the government does at the expense of the environment, to promote development in our country? Anyone? Construction of roads. What else? What is wrong about construction of roads?
Sir, nasisira po yung mga yung mga puno po, pinuputol po nila. Gaya po sa yung mga bagong daan po ngayon, diba more on nasa po sila, sa mga bundok po.
Okay. Mga daang kalikasan, yung mga
Opo,
ganyan, no?
ganun po.
Yeah, okay. You have a point there. What else? Kumbaga parang no, it boils down to the question, uh, to what extent do we sacrifice? No, do we sacrifice the environment for the sake of progress? Right? Pero hindi pa nagtatapos dyan. Whose progress are we talking about? What kind of progress are we talking about? Diba? Kasi even if we have all these establishments, no? Parang they cannot easily they cannot easily translate into everyone's progress, and we still the country is still poor, di ba? Marami pa ring naghihirap. Okay, that's why the question, whose progress are we talking about, right? And that is somehow connected to what we call systems theory. That we really have to scrutinize the systems that are responsible in structuring our actions, no? And education is a part of that. Education is a part of that. Why we live the life that we have. Sometimes we don't have choices, no? Pero actually we have. Okay, we have. And we'll talk about that in the succeeding days or meeting days. So again, when we say di ba, we go back to environmental literacy, yan, awareness and concern about the environment, okay? And then what knowledge or skills and motivations that we should need to work toward the solution of this problem. Ecological literacy naman has something to do with the use of scientific inquiry and systems thinking in coming up with informed decision making. Okay, ecological literacy. But when we say eco-literacy, creation of sustainable human communities and society. So you can see the references there from Capra, Cutter, Mackenzie, and Smith, Wool Thornton, yan lahat ng mga yan, no? They work in the Center for Eco-Literacy. Ayan. Tayo wala, no? Wala tayong Center for Eco-Literacy. Matagal ng matagal na sa ibang bansa, pero tayo, ayan, Department of Environment and Natural Resources and other yung mga agencies din ng government, pero ang dami pa rin problem, no? That is why I ask you to, focus first on the problems, no, in your community. Yun talaga ang pinaka-umpisa na gagawin natin. No, focus, like what one said earlier about the burning of, plastics and other materials. What should the local government do? Diba? What should the local government do? Sa end mo, bilang pre-service teachers, ano ba ang pwede mong magawa in order to challenge no such? Aawayin mo ba yung kapitbahay nyo na nagsusunog? I-expose mo ba siya sa Facebook? Is that your way of, making an action? Diba? So, kailangan, katulad ng sinasabi natin, dapat merong scientific inquiry, to have your informed judgment, to have your informed decision making, right? Hindi yung basta-basta ka na lang gagawa ng isang action, no? Kahit for instance here, kasi this is just naman a project, no? Project in eco-literacy, so hindi naman kailangan pag-isipang mabuti, no? I mean, you really have to embody these meanings or definitions then. Okay? No matter how different they are in some way, they're all the same. No? Still for the protection of the environment. No? Nagkakaroon ng pagkakaiba-iba ng pangalan or nomenclature, but basically they're all concerned about the environment. At napakatagal na yan na concern. No? Since we started, what? Exploiting the environment for our own good. Okay, and look at this. This is really horrible. This is this is the aftermath of the typhoon Yolanda. no, in Leyte. I actually went there several. I visited the place several times already. No, that's in Tacloban City, and that that uh, I want to say maybe a ship, no, has been dragged there, no, by this it's not ano, it's not a tsunami, but it's a wave, no, it's a wave, no, that dragged this ship to this place, no, from the shore, from the sea itself, and then when the water receded, yun, stayed there, and now it has been made as I think a monument or something. Yeah, na binisita ko yan and parang ginawa nilang tourist spot. No? That you can just go there and then take, have your pictures taken. So it's like uh, it's something that will remind, no? It's a marker of what happened, no, during the time of Yolanda in Tacloban City. And when I was there, I was actually interviewing people about their experiences, and it's really unimaginable. Kasi imagine yung daluyong, yung tinatawag nating daluyong or yung wave uh, was actually as high as electrical post. Ganun ka lalim, no? And so people, their generation was not really used to it. Was not used to it. They probably forgot about history. Kasi apparently, parang 100 years earlier, no, there was a similar typhoon that wreaked havoc, no, in the place. Maybe hence the term Tacloban, no, from the term Taclob. It's a place that is frequently visited by typhoons. Ayan. So it's the strongest, world's strongest, no, and deadliest, one of the world's strongest and deadliest typhoons. Imagine nyo yung ano, no, yung nangyari dyan. And I know you watched what was happening na during that time. At talagang napaka ano niya, it's really horrifying, no? But now, slowly, parang it has gone back to, not even gone back, but it has become more developed, since its exposure to the world, because of the news. Yeah, so I think a lot of mga multinational companies invested in that place. Ayan. You see, and you might ask, why am I presenting this? This is a natural phenomenon, a typhoon. Now, this super typhoon is somehow connected to what we call climate change. Okay, the climate change can trigger extreme occurrences of extreme uh, weather patterns and climates. Okay, and basically one of the elements that's affected is of course the temperature, and temperature is an important element then in the typhoon formation, or what we call cyclogenesis. No, cyclogenesis, temperature is very important for a typhoon to form. And temperature is connected to climate change. Anyway, we'll have a topic on climate change and how it is connected to global warming and everything. Okay, you see that? And I think there is this island that was spared, that was spared by the typhoon. No? Not really spared, but the typhoon also ravaged through the place, that island, but uh, it didn't really suffer from it didn't really suffer from the havoc that it caused, in other places, simply because of what? Anyone? I have also included that as one of the topics in our subject. Simply because of what? Simply because of the mangroves. Yun, the mangroves or bakawan. And mangroves are really important. They are essential to marine animals, no? No? Kasi they can be the sanctuary. They can be a perfect sanctuary for fishes, and people can somehow make use of uh, the lumber that they can get, no, from the bakawan. And mangroves generally act as a natural barrier against typhoons, no? Kaya what happened to yung Manila Bay, instead of putting white sand there, they should have planted mangroves. They should have planted mangroves because the mangroves can naturally clean, no, uh, the shore, okay, and can provide a sanctuary for marine animals. No? Kaya lang, I don't know, no, what's going on. Maybe kasi syempre we cannot really separate politics then from our society. No, it's embedded. It could be driven politically. Kaya tayo naman mga tao are dumb enough to believe, that what they have done is for the good of the beach itself, no, or the bay itself. Diba? Ang daming tao nagpunta doon. They even defend. They even defend what has been done. Marami nagpunta doon, nagpa-picture, kahit may pandemic. Just imagine these people, no, how illiterate, no, they are. Uh, I'm sorry, no, baka may mga nagpunta rin sa inyo doon, no? Pero even if I am not an expert in terms of ecology or environment, from a layman's point of view, I don't think what they did is really right, no? Kasi it's not a natural process. No? The reason that there are white sand beaches, no, in other parts of the Philippines is because it's a natural formation. Okay, natural formation yan. And when you take it away from its nature and put it somewhere else, you are disturbing the balance, no, in our nature. So anong nangyayari ngayon? A lot of this sand has been eroded. Okay? And they're even toxic to endemic, not only endemic, but to the marine creatures in Manila Bay. Hindi natin nakikita yun kasi what we think of is to promote tourism, no? And the way we promote it is not really sustainable, no? Kumbaga, we just exploit the resources and that's it. Paano naman yung mga susunod na henerasyon, di ba? Kaya siguro, one good thing about this pandemic is that Parang the earth takes a rest, from all this exploitation by humans. Kaya lang, ito again, parang ilang milyon na tonelada ng face mask ang naitatapon sa dagat. Okay, that's a very, that's another, you know, problem that has popped out from this, from our situations. There's a sudden increase, no, in the use of all this. Kaya ang nangyayari, ganun na naman, di ba? You just imagine, I don't know if you saw it sa Metro Manila. Parang it's their first time to see stars at night, no? At first time nila makita ang Sierra Madre. Okay? Kumbaga, it's clear from their sight. Kasi when you go there, parang before, titingin ka sa ulap, parang it's always, parang it's smoky. No? Parang it's full of haze. No? Yung pala yung pollution, dala ng mga automobiles, pero nagkaroon ng break from this. And somehow it's good now, bumabalik na naman sa dati yung gawin natin. No? Remember, the earth does not need humans. We humans need earth. That's why we really have to think. We really have to act now. No? What little things we can do, to somehow save, to save our environment. That's why I'm using this one instead of yung buying disposable. This one. Lalaban mo lang siya and then pwede mo naman na siyang isuot kaysa yung disposable din. No? I also have here. Iba pala yung ginagamit kong video. Wait. This one. Yan, I make use of this. Instead of making use of plastic utensils. No? Yan. Even in terms of shampoo or conditioner, yeah, most of the time I use yung mga bar instead of yung mga bottled shampoos. Sometimes lang, no? Kasi minsan mahirap maghanap nung mga bar shampoos that are not packaged using plastics. And so they make use of para siyang beeswax, na paper, okay, which is biodegradable, of course. And then we have this, no? This is in Batangas province. Imagine no? Because of drought, El Nino, no? Which has really affected, our agriculture. Ayan. Alam nyo, in terms of agriculture, our country is actually an agricultural country, and yet we keep on focusing on, other industries, on other sectors, particularly industrial sectors, no? And then, ang nangyayari is that yung agricultural sector ng ating bansa is being left behind. Okay? And the government concentrates on importing more rice instead of helping out of local farmers, no? Kasi nga naman, when they import rice, they would gain more profit. Kasi they can buy this goods at a cheaper price, no, compared to what are locally sold, no, in the market. Simply because they don't have the capacity for mass production. And alam natin ngayon that there is inflation, no, there is a general increase in the price of commodities. When I say commodities, these are goods and services which have affected eventually yung ano natin, yung ating purchasing power, no, yung ating income. Yan. So you can see the relationship. Okay? This one, no? Grabe itong mudslides na to. Mudslides. There's this calamity then. It's the same as this. There's a mudslide in Ormoc, City. Yun, talaga namang ang daming namatay doon, no, because of the mudslides. Okay? And this one, what is this? Still, we have this as number one problem. Poverty. Right? This is one of the major problems that we have, poverty. And we cannot just itemize these problems because they are interconnected with one another. No, they are interconnected with one another. Yan. So sana someday whenever you teach, you think of all these scenarios and make an informed judgment as to what you should do as teachers, no? Given these realities, no, in our country. That no matter how we try to parang idealize everything, no, we're always here we're always here, no, to be confronted by these realities. Kaya dapat yung actions din natin should be based on what are happening, no, in our community. Yan. And siguro the reason why I showed this, these pictures to you, and I know you are familiar with all this naman, is for you to actually, think. You really have to reflect on what you should do, as pre-service teachers and future teachers, and probably think of what we can do, if not to eradicate these problems, to lessen, these problems. Yun yung ating dapat gawin. Kasi sabi ko nga, this is not just an academic subject. It's something that you can use practically, in your daily lives. Okay? And probably by just doing small things, you're contributing to the solution to these bigger problems in our society. Diba? And I always believe in what teachers can do. Okay? What teachers can do in the community. Okay? So, and another thing is that you have to always think that the school education is always connected to the community. Even, much more now. that probably some of you think na, nako, this is not education kasi we're not learning, no? We're away from the school. You're wrong. Education is everywhere. Education is everywhere. You can learn wherever you are. Okay, you can learn wherever you are. You don't have to be in school for you to learn. You can learn basically everywhere. Okay, you just have to contextualize things para mas matuto kayo. Okay. Still have 10 minutes. So maybe we go back to asking some of your friends, some of you, no, those who were not able to speak kanina, to share what they expect from the course and what they want to do out of their expectations. Karen May.
Morning, sir.
By
Sir,
the
your
way, wait
Apo.
lang. Is there any concern or question about the presentations earlier? Okay, hearing none, sige. Karen May, you may continue.
Sir, para sa akin po, yung expectation ko po dito sa subject po natin is paano tayo maging knowledgeable, tapos yung mga ways, tsaka yung mga, kung paano natin papahalagahan at magiging isang literate person. Tapos po, para rin po may share po natin sa ibang tao, hindi lang po sa pag-share through mouth, dapat din po may apply. At para po mangyari yon, magiging isang role model para din po gayahin din po ng iba. Tulad po kasi sa amin dito, yung mga basura po hindi po nila sinesegregate ng maayos. Tapos po, tinatambak lang po nila sa, lalo na po sa kalsada do sa kanto po namin sa ospital. Nakatambak lang po doon yung mga basura.
Okay. So I can relate to that. What about Caribbean? This Caribbean?
Caroline, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Para sa akin po, ang ina-expect ko po dito sa course natin, sir, is kung ano po yung mga maliliit at malalaking bagay na nagagawa po natin sa pang-araw-araw na maaaring makatulong sa pag-preserve ng ating environment, tsaka po yung mga nagagawa rin po natin na hindi natin alam na nakakasama po pala talaga sa mga kapaligiran natin. Tapos po, ang makakontribute ko po is simulan po natin sa sarili na gawin po kung ano man yung mga matututunan dito sa course na to. At saka, para na rin po i-share sa iba.
Okay. Lovely Jean.
Good morning po, sir.
Good morning. Okay, go ahead.
Sir, yung ina-expect ko po is matututo po ako ng iba't ibang paraan para po maprotektahan yung environment natin. And then, magiging isang example po ako na magkaroon ng self-discipline po. And maging way po para matulungan ko yung environment na protektahan siya sa tulong ng ibang tao po.
Okay. Nice. Okay, what about Lovely Shane? Is Lovely Shane still there?
Sir, good morning po.
Go ahead.
So, yung expectations ko naman po, Sir, yung expectations ko po is
Okay, Lovely Shane.
may papahalagahan. At ilang estudyante po, magiging good example po ako para sa mga taong nakapaligid po sa akin.
Okay. Sige. What about Mary Jane? Is Mary Jane around? Still here? Mary Jane?
Good morning po.
Yes.
Hello po. Sir, yung expectation ko po dito sa matuto po ng panibagong way kung paano maprotektahan. Kasi po dito po sa akin, sir, kahit liblib na po yung daan, may mga tao pa rin po nagtatakot pa sa mga kanto po. And ang nagpara po yung mga tubig, hirap po. Hirap po. Tapos para
Mm-mm.
yung i-apply ko po yung mga knowledge or yung mga natutunan ko po dito sa subject na ito. Katulad po sa mga problems na yung mild po sa deforestation. Kasi dito sa makikita mo po kasi yung bundok. Tapos may mga kaingin, yung tawag po doon. Nakakalbo na po yung mga bundok.
Okay, sige. Micah? Nandito pa ba si Micah? Micah? Michelle? Is Michelle?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Ang inaasahan ko po sa subject na ito, sir, is ito po yung magiging way or maging eye-opener po para sa amin, para sa tunay na problema sa ating kapaligiran po. Kung ano ba talaga yung pinaka-root, ano ba talaga yung mga dapat naming tignan, ayusin, para makatulong po sa environment po. At saka po bilang future educators po, naniniwala po ako na yung children po is great imitator. So kami pong mga guro, dapat po, hindi lang po kami puro salita, dapat makita din po sa amin kung ano po yung mga natutunan namin dito. Kung nang sa gayon po is matuto din sa amin yung mga estudyante po.
Okay. Hindi ka pa ba nag-reside, Jolivian?
Hindi pa po, sir.
Okay, sige. What can you say?
Sir, ang in-expect ko po dito sa subject ay course po na ito, paano po natin ma-face po yung mga problem sa environment at mas magiging wide po yung kaalaman po natin. Para po sa akin bilang future teacher, magiging role model po ako sa mga taong nakapaligid po sa akin at papahalagan ko po yung environment.
Okay. Okay. Sige. Sinickery.
Sir, good morning po. Ang expectation ko naman po dito sa subject natin is kung ano po yung mga natutunan ko before nung high school, elementary is mas mag-a-upgrade pa para kung ano man yung mga matututunan ko ngayon is may share ko rin kapag nagturo na po ako. Lalo na kapag yung mga bata kaming mga elementary educators yung magiging foundation ng learning nila. Kaya kung ano po yung matututunan ko dito is gagamitin ko po in the future.
Okay, sige. I have an article about that. Parang about eco-literacy in elementary grade. So tingnan natin, we'll explore that article. Princess Joy.
Hello, sir. Ang expectation ko po in this course is to know more about the role of an environmental educator to create a sustainable eco-literacy. Tapos, contribution ko po is to put our words into action, especially let's start with our own square meters.
Okay. This is Rene Rose. Granny Rose, are you still there?
Hello po, sir.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Hello?
Hello. Ini-expect ko po sa class is lumawak po yung kaalaman ko at matutunan ko po yung mga right na gawin para makatulong po sa pagpapaganda palalo ng environment. And isi-share ko po ito sa mga kakilala ko, sa mga friends ko, or sa mga nandito po sa barangay namin para po may apply namin at magtulungan po kami para magkaroon ng magandang environment po.
Okay. Sheena May. Sheena May. Nandyan pa ba si Sheena May?
Good morning po.
Yes.
Ang ine-expect ko po ay maging knowledgeable enough po ako about ecoliteracy, yung mga ways how to preserve and care our environment para mas maging maayos at magkaroon ng healthy and safe environment. And yung makakontribute ko po ay ang pag-implement ng mga bagay na dapat gawin to have a healthy and safe environment gaya po ng pag-segregate ng basura at pag-recycle ng mga bagay na non-biodegradable.
Okay. Sunshine. Sunshine.
Good morning, sir.
Go.
Sir, yung ina-expect ko po dito is yung magiging aware pa po kami kung paano protektahan yung environment in a proper way. Tapos po yung mga proper solutions po sa kinakaharap na problema nitong environment. Tapos lahat po na matututunan ko dito is babaunin ko in the future. Tapos isasagawa po yun syempre. Tapos isi-share ko po ito sa mga iba't lalo na po sa mga kids. Yun lang.
Okay. Is this Victoria? Victoria, still there? Collado? Victoria?
Nawalan daw po ng kuryente sa kanila, sir.
Welaan?
Good morning, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sa akin po is, in-expect ko po sa klase natin is marami pa po kaming matututunan para po ma-adapt po namin sa mga future students po namin para maging role model na din po kung paano po ma-prevent yung environment at saka po para po matutunan po rin namin magtapon ng mga basura sa tamang paglagyan po, sir.
Okay. Ida Marie. This Ida?
Good morning po, sir.
Yes.
Sir, naririnig po.
Yes.
Sir, ako po, ang ine-expect ko po dito sa course natin is at the end
Ida, hindi ko marinig yung
course po magiging eco-literate po ako and also po mas maging malawak po yung aking kaalaman to understand the concept and principles about environment po.
Okay.
Sir, naririnig na po.
Yeah. I heard it. Okay. Si Maria Dangeline.
Morning, sir. Sir, naririnig na po. Ba't wala?
Who's speaking?
Sir,
Who is speaking?
Sir, ako po isang ina-expect ko po is
Maria Dangeline, are you the one speaking? Okay, sige, go.
Sige po. Yung ina-expect ko po is mas maging knowledgeable at mas maging aware sa environment at sa mga environmental problems na ma-address sa course na to. Tapos po, ina-expect ko rin po na mas maboost yung interest ko about sa environment and nature.
Okay, nice. Crystal Joy. Oh,
Sir,
Crystal
good
Joy.
morning. Good morning po.
Okay,
Sir,
good morning.
ako naman is yung mas mapalawak or mas madagdagan pa yung kaalaman namin para matutunan yung mga tamang pamamaraan kung paano alagaan yung environment. And syempre, sir, mag-uumpisa yon sa pagdidisiplina sa sarili para maging role model po sa iba.
Okay. Sarah? Nandiyan pa ba si
Sir?
Sarah?
Yes,
Yes?
sir. Sa akin naman, sir, ina-expect ko po is mas maging conscious po tayo sa mga ginagawa po natin sa environment natin. And yung ways po para alagaan since mahalaga po sa atin yung mother nature na, sa atin, sa buhay po natin.
Okay. Sabi nila sa gender fair language, you have to be careful with the use of Mother Nature, Fatherland. Pero syempre I'm not sold by their by their rationale or by that. I mean, it's a different anyway, it's a different story, no? It's not it's immaterial, no? Ayan. Pero siguro we can talk about that some time, some other time, okay? So that was Sarah, no? What about is this Hazel Joyce?
Sir, yung ina-expect ko naman po sa course natin ngayon makakatulong ito, sir, para mas maging aware kami para maprotektahan yung Mother Nature, ganun. At saka kung ano yung at kung paano namin ma-share din sa iba. Katulad ngayon, sir, yung mga bata ngayon kahit may basurahan, tinatapon pa rin nila sa daan, ganun, para mas ma-educate namin yung mga bata para mas marami kaming malaman.
Okay. Aldrin, natawag kita kanina, no? Pero hindi ko narinig.
Yes.
Yes, Aldrin.
Naririnig po ba?
Yeah.
Sir, para sa akin po yung ina-expect ko po, sir, is to be more eco-literate and paano po maging environmentalist and how to take care of the environment po. Tapos siguro po yung mako-contribute ko po is to participate in environmental practices po dito pwede po sa barangay or sa mismong tahanan po.
Okay, nice. What about Kristen Joy Nicolas? Last na siya, no?
Good morning po, sir. Sir, para sa akin po is, ano po yung mga, para maging aware po tayo sa mga bagay na dapat nating isaalang-alang upang ma-preserve po at ma-protect po yung environment. And, para maging role model po sa magiging future students ko po. And then, para ma-share ko din po yung kaalaman ko sa ibang tao po, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
sige.
yun lang po, thank you.
Yeah. Lahat naman, no, well said. Yung mga iba siguro, next meeting na lang natin. Okay? Now, maybe you can reflect on what you said. No, when you start working on your eco project, okay, because it has to be within the community. No, it has to be concerning your community. So you can start from how the people in the community become illiterate in terms of environmental responsibilities. Yeah, so you can start from your own community, okay? And yeah, it's already 11 actually. Medyo ano na tayo. Na next time siguro you join on in time, no? If not on time. Uh, para ano, para hindi nyo ma-miss, no, yung ibang mga information na dinidiscuss natin dito. Okay. Now, I'm gonna ask you, kasi I already asked you last time, no, to talk about the online schedule. No, the online schedule. So, what's your pleasure? Are we going to meet uh, twice a week, once a week, twice a month, once a month? Anong ano natin? What's the decision? Meron na bang ano napag usapan? Okay. Sige. Pag-usapan niyo yan next meeting. I mean, pag-usapan niyo among yourselves and then we'll talk about that next meeting this Thursday. Okay? Ayun. Kasi basically, we can ano, kumbaga, we cannot meet kasi ano every meeting day online, no? Kasi this is not the only subject that you have. And sabi ko nga, it's healthy, no? It's healthy to have a break from, you know, from the screen of your laptop, yung ganon ba, no? So talk among yourselves about the schedule of our online meeting, no? During the time when we don't have online meeting, that's the time it's actually for your reading, no, reading and your requirements. Those schedules will be allotted for your readings and requirements. Okay? So pag-usapan niyo muna paano yung schedule natin na gusto ninyo. But basically, even if you decide, no, if ako pa rin ang magpa-finalize, no? Ako yung magpa-finalize kung anong schedule yung mga online classes natin, no, in relation to my other schedules then. Okay? Ayan. So, thank you for joining our online discussion. Okay? I wish to have more participation from you, no, in our succeeding online classes. And somehow this discussion gave me the idea on what to put, no, in our in the subject. I mean, in the course syllabus. Okay, because it's like I kind of parang did a sort of survey from you when I asked you about your expectations, ganyan, and what you can do, you know, out of these expectations. Okay, so are there any concerns or questions you wanna raise? Meron pa ba? Ayan, so I just want you to read, no, to read the articles that I'm going to send you, no? Kasi gusto ko na meron na rin kayong alam as we, you know, discuss. So instead of just listening to me, I expect you to ask questions then as well. And expect me to ask questions to you then. Just to test if you have read or you really understand what you have read. Okay? Yan. So, hearing none, our online class is now dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.